I thought he loved me until the night he didn't. Some wounds don't show on the skin. As a professional sex educator, I've seen that not all forms of abuse leave bruises on the skin. Some leave marks on the soul, silent wounds that eat away at a person's self-worth, trust, and ability to feel safe in their own body. This is the story of Hira, a woman full of life and laughter, who entered marriage with dreams of love, but found herself trapped in a nightmare that began behind bedroom doors. This is not just her story. It is the story of thousands. And if you're listening, maybe it's the story someone you know is living right now. A love that seemed different. Hira was raised to believe in quiet, respectful love. She didn't chase butterflies. She looked for kindness, for calmness, for a man who wouldn't raise his voice to feel powerful. She thought she found that in Zishan. He respected her space. He listened. For months after their wedding, he was affectionate, protective, and careful with her feelings. Their intimacy was slow, warm, and filled with emotional depth. But then, things started to change. The shift Zishan began sleeping late and waking up anxious. He'd lock himself in the bathroom for long stretches. Some nights, he'd sit in silence, staring at the wall with bloodshot eyes. At first, Hira thought it was stress. But then came the mood swings, bursts of anger, silent treatment, sudden affection that felt too intense to be real. And in the bedroom, the man who once cherished her touch now seemed distracted, impatient, as if she was a task, not a partner. The first time he forgot who she was. One night, he touched her differently, not roughly, but like she wasn't her. He called her by a different name. She froze. Zishan, what did you just say? He blinked, laughed it off. Don't be dramatic. But Hira couldn't sleep that night. Her heart beat with confusion. The man who had once made love to her with care and intention now made her feel like a body, not a soul. The discovery, 2 weeks later, while cleaning his cupboard, she found a hidden pouch behind his books. Inside, tiny silver foil squares, a small black pipe, a crushed pill bottle with no label, and a roll of currency notes that smelled like smoke. She knew instantly. Zishan wasn't just stressed, he was using. And he had been lying for months. A new kind of intimacy, one without consent. The next time he came to her, she smelled it on him. A strange sweetness. His eyes wide, movements fast, voice sharp and overconfident. He whispered, "Tonight I'll show you how much I love you." But what followed wasn't love. It wasn't passion. It was performance. It was him taking, not giving. It was her saying, "Wait," and him ignoring it. When she tried to push him away, he growled, "Don't ruin this. You're mine." Afterward, he fell asleep instantly, while she lay awake, cold, confused, and scared in the same bed. She realized she had just been intimate with a version of her husband that didn't know what love meant anymore. She began to fade. Hira stopped smiling, stopped dressing up, stopped initiating affection. Even when he was sober, she told herself, maybe it's just a phase. Maybe he'll stop. Maybe I should be patient. But deep down, she knew this wasn't just drugs. This was a marriage unraveling. This was consent being erased. This was fear replacing trust. The breaking point. One evening, she gathered the courage to talk. "I want us to get help," she said. "Your drug use is hurting me, hurting us." He stared at her, cold, like he didn't know her. Then he said, "You think I need help? Maybe you're the one who can't handle a real man." That night, he tried to initiate sex again, without asking, without checking in, without warmth. When she said no, he slammed the door and didn't come back till morning. That was the night she packed a bag. From silence to strength, Hira went to a women's shelter. She met with a counselor, and she spoke to a professional sex educator who told her drug use doesn't just harm the body, it poisons relationships. It changes the way a person sees touch, love, and sex. What you experienced was not your fault. What you feel is valid. Through support, she started healing. She learned that sex should always involve consent, safety, emotional connection, and sobriety. She began to reclaim her voice. Final words, her courage, your wake-up call today. Hira lives with peace in her heart. She still has healing to do, but she no longer flinches at kindness. She no longer sees herself as damaged. She teaches others that you don't have to stay where you're not safe. You don't owe silence to anyone who violates your body. Sex without respect and sobriety is not love. You can start over, even when the past still echoes. From a professional sex educator, Hira's story is painful, but it's real. And too many people are still living it in silence. If your partner can't be intimate without being high, ignores your boundaries, forces or pressures you during sex, uses anger, guilt, or drugs to control your body, that is not love. That is a warning. You deserve emotional connection, sexual safety, clear and sober consent, healing without shame. Your body is not